What's going on, everybody? It is Triple Crown 24 back with a big pickup video. I've got stuff from the flea market, got stuff from the LCS, and I've got stuff from eBay. A lot to show off today, so I'm going to go kind of quick. There's some vintage, there's some modern, there's a little bit of everything for everyone. So hopefully you enjoy this video. Hopefully you got a Merry Christmas if you do, in fact, celebrate Christmas. As always, leave a like and a comment if you do enjoy today's video. Let me know what you think of today's returns. I really do appreciate when you guys leave comments. Reading the comments is one of my favorite parts of doing this, so it is always greatly appreciated. And then if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. So let's go ahead and get into it. There are a lot of different purposes for the cards I picked up today. So as you can see, I got a few stacks that are about this big. This one came from my LCS. First card I'm showing off, a little bit of vintage here. It's a 1970 Topps Reggie Jackson. So some of these do have stickers on them that have the price. The price is not necessarily what I paid. I usually got these for about half off the total combined price. So that is something to keep in mind going forward. I'm pretty happy with the deals I got on some of these, but this one was in really good shape, and it might be one of my most underrated finds. This is one I'm just going to try to get slabbed up, as is the case with a few of these. To me, it's probably like a 9, possibly an 8, but a 9 in this would be phenomenal just because it is a 1970s card. So I think collector's grade would technically be a 7 on this one. All the vintage guys out there can let me know if I'm right on that. But a 9 would be phenomenal if that could happen. So underrated return or underrated find there. This one also probably along the lines of a 9, is at least that's what I'm hoping for, just because it is a little bit off-centered and there's a couple little small corner issues, but super stoked to add this card into my collection. I saw it in the box, and I've gone back to this LCS twice. So the story is that they've been buying a lot of collections from like estate sales or from people who have, kind of given up their collections through whatever medium it might be. And they have put them in this box, and they're just trying to kind of move these cards at cost. So they kind of pick out some of the bigger ones and then sell the rest in lots. So this is one that I left in the box the first time I went to the LCS. I came back like a week later. It was still there, so I had to grab it. First McGuire 85 in my collection. Super stoked to have that. Shout out to Topps 85401 on this one. So first McGuire USA for me. I got 2 of these. The Lou Whitaker rookie from the 78 set. There are a few 78 rookie position cards like this that have Tigers players on them, some of the most famous Tigers players of the 84 championship team. There's Lou Whitaker on this one. There's a Jack Morris one, which I already have in my collection. There's also the Alan Trammell, which I haven't really found at a price that I would be okay with yet. It does have Paul Molitor on that one as well, so that one's a little bit more pricey. But this is my first Lou Whitaker. One of these is for grading. One of these is for the Tigers team set. I do want to have a slabbed Whitaker rookie in my collection, so pick those up. One of them, I don't remember which one it is off the top of my hand, is in better shape than the other one. This one is not for PSA. It's just for the Tigers team set. Again, got a little bit cheaper than that price, so really stoked to add a 58 just because any of the ones I could find on eBay, this is pretty much what I'm paying for each individual one. So to go to the card shop, anytime I can find a Tigers card that's under $5 or $5 itself, that is from the 50s or the 60s, I'm going to go ahead and pick it up just because you don't find them every single day out there. So first 58 from a Tigers set. And then these are 2 more recent cards, but they're 2 that I'm hoping to get PSA 10s on. Would be happy with Mint 9 as well, but this is a Derek Jeter. There are a lot of these Jeter rookie cards in my LCS, and this one looked pretty good, so I'm going to be sending this one off. Don't have a Jeter rookie in my collection, so this is my first one. Super stoked to add that. Then I also don't have a rookie of this guy, and this card looks pretty good as well. Again, trying to get a 10 on it when I send it off to PSA to put in the collection, but it's an A-Rod Star Rookies card from 1994 Upper Deck. Probably the more famous one that's in the 300 Great Cards collection is the 1994 SP, but this one is really cool looking as well, especially with the foil. Foil cards not always the easiest to grade, so super stoked to find that one in good condition. I also bought a box of Topps Finest, so I did a little bit more of a modern stuff here, as well as a couple packs of Bowman Draft, but I need to really put these in sleeves. I'm going to do that after this video, but 2 refractors. You have the purple of Jackie Bradley Jr. and the green of Andrew Benintendi. And then this was a little bit of a surprise. This was a very good box overall, I would say, but try to hold this one carefully here. One that I would definitely also consider getting slabbed. Really cool Finest Careers insert of Cal Ripken Jr. He's the only player in this insert set. There's like 10 different cards of him. And this is the gold, which is numbered out of 50 on the back. Or maybe it might be orange. I'm not exactly sure. The orange kind of runs in since it's the Orioles card. But very cool. The autographs, I'm sure some people are curious on that one. Got a Brian Anderson for my first one. I was kind of like, oh, okay, well, that's fine. Brian Anderson's pretty good, pretty underrated. And then the second one I saw, it had orange on it, and it was numbered 25, and I saw that it had a little leg kick, and Ohtani has like a leg kick, so I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Did I just pull an Ohtani orange? It's not Ohtani, but it is a very good player. It is Jose Ramirez, perennial MVP candidate these days for the Cleveland Indians. The first Ramirez autograph I have, number one that I will probably have slabbed for my collection. So very good day at the LCS, to say the least. So happy with how that one turned out. Second part, I'm going to go a little quicker through these. This is my flea market pickups. Some of these are for the Tigers team set. Some of these I'm looking to get slabbed, kind of give my thoughts on each one here. So starting off, I have this 1973 Kaline, first 73 in the set. And then I've got some other Tigers cards I'll show here in a minute, but this is probably the biggest one of the ones I picked up for the team set. It's a little bit beat up here, but it is perfectly fine for what I'm trying to do. I also got my first 60s and 61s. Here's the 60 right here. Here's 3 of the 61s. Includes the Tigers team card. The team cards are sometimes pretty tough to find, so anytime I can grab those for under $5, I will definitely do that for any of the sets prior to 1970. And then the Norm Cash here, probably one of the better players from the Tigers set in 61, so really cool. ERA leaders with Jim Bunning as well, among some of the notables. This is one I didn't have on my checklist. I found it in a Trout box looking for some cool Trout cards to possibly add to my collection, just because I've accepted he's the best player in baseball and I need to add some cards of him to my collection. But it has Cabrera on it, and I don't have this in my Tigers team set. I try to include the team leaders, or the league leaders cards, and this one just somehow evaded the checklist. So I'm going to have to update that pretty soon with that one. An Kaline for under $5 is something I'll take any day of the week. I know this one is a little bit off-centered. It's got some corner issues as well, but this is from the 62 set, Sporting News All-Star card. Really cool-looking card, and to me, well worth the price. Anytime I can add a Kaline under $5, I will definitely put it in, just because his cards are sometimes not cheap, some of the more expensive ones in the Tigers collection. These are just some random ones here, or at least this one is Mark McGwire, 87. Probably would grade out of 10, so it's one that I'm just going to kind of save for a rainy day submission. So always wanted to add a McGwire 10. I really do like that 87 card. This is one that I'm pretty excited about. It's a 71. I was about to say 81. Tigers Kaline card. At first, I was thinking, wow, this is in great shape. It might have a shot at a 9. More realistically, probably looking at an 8 at this one, possibly a 7, but to me, I think it's an 8 PSA. Shout out to League of Their Own, Caitlin, who did the Tigers all-time set registry, or the Kaline basic set registry. I'm thinking about the team set in my head, where she had all the all the Kaline cards from Topps and Bowman. So that's something that I'm looking at possibly for 2019. You'll see my collecting goals video on New Year's Day. That doesn't make it into the list, but it is something that is a project that maybe I'll start in 2019, but probably more so looking at 2020 to complete it. But this is one that I'll definitely be sending in to possibly get a start on that. This one I'm going for a 9 on. It's a little bit off-center. It has some edge issues, so probably more realistically an 8. But Joe Morgan, 72. This is his last appearance at the Houston Astros. He has a card in the 72 set that shows him traded to the Reds. That one's worth a little bit more than this one, but to me, I really like Joe Morgan. I've met him a few times. I actually worked under him for very brief stint, so had to add that one in. I wanted a couple of Joe Morgan slabs in my collection. This is one I originally picked up for the Tigers team set, but just because it is in pretty good shape with the corners, the centering is just a little bit off, but not quite as bad as some of the other ones I've seen, and there's a small print defect here. It's a 67 batting leaders. It has Kaline on it, so that's why it would go into the team set, but also has Yastrzemski and Robinson, so 3 Hall of Famers all in one card. To me, this one will look pretty sharp in the PSA slab, so this is one that is heading that way pretty soon. I'll probably have to find another one for the set. And the last one from the shop is this Phil Necro. Not sure if this one will go to PSA. Not sure if I'm going to send this one off for a TTM, but it was pretty affordable. It was just to kind of like round up my total to an even number for the price I got it at. So figured why not add this Hall of Famer from the 77 design. Also got in some more Bowman stuff. So this is stuff I got in from eBay. So that includes my little flea market pickup. So I got all these colored cards here. There's some various inserts. I got the Cheater Down Sparkle. These are really sharp looking cards. I would like to add a Casey Mize autograph of this. My autographs from this box, not bad. Tim Cate, who was the second round pick of the Nationals. Black, number to 75. Anytime you get a black, that's pretty good. Trevor Larnach, whatever it may be. Sorry, Trevor. Bowman first card, first round pick of the Twins. And then I think this is Grant Levine. I always think of like Avril Lavigne when I see this guy, but really highly touted prospect for the Rockies. Did pretty well in his first year, so this is one that I was pretty stoked to get. It'll be one that is possibly slabbed, but I'm going to hold on to this one for a little bit. A little bit of an investment piece here. And then along with it, a giant stack of base that I've been sending off vigorously for TTMs over the past few days. So you follow the TTM series, I hope you're ready for some Bowman Draft returns because there is a lot of them that I've been sending out. So then my last two eBay pickups got Tom Glavine, Craig Biggio from Topps Dynasty, both number 10. I kind of just tossed a bid on these and thought, well, if I don't get them, I don't get them, but I ended up winning both, so that was a pleasant surprise. But two new additions to the Dynasty collection, up to 6 cards in that. So that'll do it. Just over 12 minutes, not bad on the time. Hopefully everyone enjoyed that. This will be my last pickup video of 2018, so thanks to everyone who's followed that. If you do watch the TTM series, be sure to tune back in tomorrow. I've got a pretty good one to show off. Very good way to end 2018 for sure. So thanks everyone so much for watching. Again, like, comment, subscribe as always. See you next time. Have a good one.